Hey everyone, typical hunks adventure here. Decided to film this in my office just because, like I said, took the rest of the day off and I was gonna film on the way to get my son, but my wife and daughter want to come along for the ride. Probably good to get out of the house as well, especially with my daughter feeling a little bit better. But yeah, I was going to talk about the HR call that I had today. So I did wake up and attend that call just because I didn't want to have them reschedule. I wanted to get it over with, at least get the ball rolling on that before taking the day off. And it's about my remote work status. Now, I started working remotely when COVID happened, so in 2020, and then last year I returned to the office for a little bit until I ended up getting a doctor's note for my son with him being diagnosed with autism, and we're going to do the ABA therapy. Now, of course, we didn't end up doing the therapy afterwards for different reasons, but that didn't change the fact that I lived far away and needed to be there for my son as his primary caregiver and getting him to and from school. And there have been times where I've needed to actually get him. So, being an hour away, that's kind of devastating to worry about as the only person to be able to come and get him. Now, I've been at the company for 11 years, so it's not like I'm a new employee. I've been there for a while. I know my stuff, especially when it comes to products and things like that. Integral part of the team. And I don't think I've ever had any issues with anything, especially with getting my work done and, working on meeting deadlines and facilitating things. So it's not like I'm a problem employee or anything like that. Just needing to work remotely. And we have people that live closer than me that are on remote plans. And there's people that also live in the same city as me on remote plans. So I don't understand why I can't just have one based on that. And we switched to a new system. And with that, I had to resubmit, so I ended up putting in my son's medical information because there was no option to just say, hey, I live X amount of miles away, or if I live in a different state, anything like that. So I found that kind of odd that I couldn't just resubmit for remote accommodation based on that. But I did meet, I kind of tried to explain that to them because they were first asking if I could get a new doctor's note, and I said probably not, because I'm not going to reach out to a place that we didn't have services done for. I'm not going to take him to a new place to have services done. I live far enough away that I should be, remote just based on that. If we need to move further, then that would be something I would consider, or moving in with our in-laws, or whatever the case may be if I need to be out of state, if that allows me to continue doing the work that I've been trying to do. But yeah, it would be nice to just stay where we're at. I don't want to have to worry about, moving, trying to get a new house because we have such a great interest rate. I don't want to look into trying to get like another vehicle or something, even though my wife can't drive, so it wouldn't even matter if I got another vehicle. And it's a bit frustrating to try and deal with. Especially when I kind of mention these things to them. It's like it's an hour commute for me, if not more, depending on traffic. We have one way kind of in and out of where I live, and often you hear about the freeway being shut down due to an accident, and then what do? I just can't get home for the day, or I can't get to work, depending on when that happens and how long it takes for them to get that cleaned up. Needing to be able to get my son to and from school, making sure he's safe with that, being available if there's an emergency, things like that, especially as his primary caregiver. I just feel like there's a lot of things with that it would be nice if they're understandable of. Now, I know it goes higher up, so of course I go let my boss know these things, but it really comes down to corporate HR. But again, if it comes down to distance and other people have been approved for distance, then I feel like it could be submitted for those same reasons. So we'll kind of see how that goes. But of course, I've had various managers in the past just from reorgs or people being let go, so that doesn't really help trying to, say, oh yeah, this person said it's fine, and then they're no longer at the company to give that. But we've also kind of downsized some of the office, so I don't even know if they have a desk for me. I'm sure they can make one though if they needed to, but would rather not. And yeah, just outside of that, that's just not really something I wanted to hear, but they will get back to me on that. They're going to look into some more things, and they'll let me know. But again, I don't see why I can't. It's a really dumb thing. So kind of got that going on, and now I'm sure that'll be stuck in my head for the next week or two until I hear back, and then move forward with some stuff. So I'll probably reach out to some folks that I know that are a bit higher up. Not that that really matters, but maybe they'll help give me a morale boost or just kind of talk me through some things as well. So, but yeah, outside of that, I am on call this week, so I do have that going on, which kind of sucks how that lines up because this is my son's last week of school. He'll graduate preschool on Thursday, and then Friday there's kind of like a little ceremony and things like that. So I do have Friday off. Even though I'm on call, it's usually for like any kind of external patches or things needing to go out for the product, or like product releases, or just other departments where maybe they release something and we want to ensure that our product that I'm over isn't, I guess, affected by anything like that. So I'm on call. Usually we do have that stuff scheduled, so it's on my calendar so I can see. So didn't have anything today, so it worked out. And then usually don't have anything on Fridays because the last thing you want to do is release something going into a weekend if something breaks, because then you're needing to pull resources on the weekend, and you really don't want to do that if you don't have to. So that should work out there. But yeah, definitely a rush of things this week, and hopefully it all works out. But I'll keep you guys posted on that. So stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh yeah, and one other thing I forgot to mention, I kind of mentioned in the previous video that I just put up from this morning, but yeah, another reason I didn't get out to work on the yard at all yesterday, besides the pipe, there were some other things I wanted to do of trying to clear up some debris around the rocks, is just how incredibly windy it is. We had severe thunderstorm alerts that just lasted all throughout the day, essentially. And yeah, it was crazy. We had 45-mile-per-hour gust winds, as well as up to 65-mile-per-hour gusts that were coming through. Most of the storm avoided our area, so we didn't actually have any rain or anything hit. Of course, I would have liked some rain. But yeah, the wind, we still have some wind today, of course. And yeah, our air quality was horrible. It was like in the high 300s, which I think was like really bad for you. Maybe it was even toxic or hazardous. I think hazardous was the word that I saw. Of course, now it's down today into like the low 100s, low 100s, I should say. But yeah, it was just not good to be out there. And so I guess it worked out in the sense that we had things going on yesterday, taking care of my daughter, so I wasn't outside in that bad air quality type weather. And I don't even know if it's good today to be out in it. Wow, this lighting actually looks pretty good for me. But yeah, thought I would just add that into the video, because I know I kind of just briefly talked about it in the morning video about how the wind, I was worried about that with blowing the grass seed and everything like that around the yard. Still might have, I'm honestly not sure, but that's those types of seeds and things you're not supposed to do more than like once or twice a year. So regardless, I'm just gonna have to leave it as is. I'm not going to try and reseed or anything like that in case that causes problems. But yeah, just figure I'd add this in. I'll probably going after the outro, so what can you do? But yeah, that's gonna do it for this, and then yeah, I will see you in the next video.